What up, Dokkanners? We are continuing the 8-year anniversary preview series now by jumping into part 3 and reviewing the final chapter of the JP 8-year anniversary celebration. This is not the end of the preview series. There's going to be a whole lot more stuff coming up where we go over EZAs, a weddling. I combined awakening and metals. That's your word of the day, a weddling. So before you continue watching this, make sure to check out parts 1 and 2 where I cover everything else. Because as with any anniversary, a lot of the things that happen in the earlier parts do remain until the end of the celebration. So, quickly just reviewing part 1, you'll still have the login bonuses, you'll still have missions and stuff going on, you'll still have coins to pick up. The campaign for the co-op stuff, I believe by part 3, I don't remember exactly when JP reached the milestone, but this will surely be done before part 3. I would imagine this will be done well before that. The third section of the ticket missions will be available during part 3, so this will be very important. These 2 summons and exchanges will still be available, as will the stone exchanges, and yeah, pretty much everything else is the same. Also, the social media stone campaign will remain. There will be more stages added to these guys. All of these limited events will also be available. There will be a ton of content still ongoing for you guys to run through. Notice how all of these things have the end date of March 6th. That's basically the end of the 8-year anniversary on JP. So that being said, now let's jump ahead to part 3 and take a look here. So for part 3, the main point of part 3 is going to be wrapping up the free-to-play story progressions and giving those units that nice bow on top, giving them the EZA treatment, along with the 5-year anniversary LRs. These 2 units are going to be receiving their EZAs along with a burst mode for each of them. Now, actually, before we talk about their burst mode, unfortunately, the Dokkan Wiki did remove or just not include certain events in here, so that's why I didn't cover them, because it just simply wasn't in here. But I do want to cover a couple things that I missed. So the first thing is, during part 2 there will be, actually I don't know if is it even during part 2? Yeah, it is during part 2. Burst mode for the Dragon Ball opening medley will actually be taking place. This story event, or whatever it's called, a special event, will be made available. It's really just to celebrate the various opening themes for the celebration, or for Dragon Ball. And then obviously, because part 2 has to do with Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Kai, right? So the 2 LRs are Kai Fighters and Z Fighters, so they're kind of commemorating that, along with a few others. You're going to be able to listen to some of these songs. Limit Break Survive is my favorite because that's the Universal Rival Saga theme. They have the GT one. They have the Incredible Adventure from Dragon Ball. A lot of great songs, so they're all going to be available here. And then the final stage, Genkai Toppa Survivor. This is the one that gets turned into a burst mode. So for the burst mode for this, there will be missions. If you clear all the different stages on Z Hard, you will get the little spirit bomb thingy. And then if you clear all of them, you get a wallpaper. But then the burst mode one specifically, if you clear that out with a Realm of Gods team in full, you will clear that stone mission. Another one is Super Saiyan. So those are the 2 categories you want to have ready for this. And this is a 3-stage event. So it's nothing too crazy, This is not like a red zone type of thing, but this is just another event for you guys to earn more stones on. Even if you don't care about the burst coin itself, the main thing you should be doing is just getting the missions done, right? Missions give you stones, and who doesn't want free stones? I believe still the running total is 7. I could be wrong here. 1, 2, 5. Then we've got 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so maybe a little bit more because of the 8-year anniversary. But anyway, yeah, 9 stones to be gained from this, so it's still worth doing. That happens during part 2. And then during part 3, you will get a burst mode for the fusions. Both Blue, Gogeta and Vegito will have their own respective burst modes. So let me just pull that up here. It'll be the final stage for both. So for the Vegito Blue, you see the little marker here. This indicates this will obviously be turned into a burst mode. So the same thing will apply. They'll have separate missions. For the Vegito Blue, you got to clear with heavenly events. You got to clear with fusions. So start putting together some teams for this one. Heavenly events, it's not that bad. It might seem obscure because the categories are limited, but the Kid Gohan is all that you need. With Kid Gohan leading the charge in that leader skill, you can then throw on a bunch of random units from different sagas as long as they fit heavenly events. Basically, anybody that was at the Kami's Lookout. That also includes Boo. So if you've got a full Majin Power team, you could do that too. There would have to be some overlap. I don't know if actually it's too easy to do. Yeah, you probably have to whale out a little bit. So I wouldn't recommend the extreme side, but it is easy. It is manageable. Fusions is definitely going to be easier. And then for the Gogeta, let's check out the Gogeta burst mode. Gogeta one is going to be GT bosses. Oh, Potara. Okay. GT bosses might be tough for some people. Actually, I guess Heavenly Events and GT bosses will be tough, but this is worse because look at the limits here. Like, there are barely any units here. This one's gonna be tough for some people, especially given that, you know, you're trying to amp up the multipliers, you're trying to add on the different difficulties, the skulls and whatnot. Having just GT bosses is going to be quite a challenge. So we'll see how people do on that. But that's another 9 stones for you. So even if you don't care about burst mode, getting those coins, it's the stones that matter. So that'll be dropping during part 3. Then we've got the easy area for the free-to-play Majin Buu Saga units. The 8-year anniversary units are going to be on the last 2 stages. We've got the TUR Hercule and we've got the LR Bobbity. The LR Bobbity will be the first unit on Global Dokkan that will have, or free-to-play unit, that will have the standby and charge finisher mechanic. And for this one, the standby switch turns into Majin Vegeta. So kind of a shaft if you're a Vegeta fan that he's relegated to a simple standby phase, but it is what it is. So that is going to be your free-to-play opportunity to engage in the new mechanic if you haven't already done so with the Golden Week characters, because the Tech Goku already had this mechanic. So if you're not familiar with it, this will be the unit that teaches you how to do it. And then the TUR Hercule, both are going to be available in part 3, which means you're going to have these characters to choose from. There's a lot of very easily accessible characters here, a lot of free-to-plays. So if you don't have a lot of the summonable ones, the free-to-play ones are definitely obtainable. Let me just quickly show you. Free-to-play, 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 free-to-play. Wow, this first row is almost completely free-to-play. Second row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of the 14, 12. 7 out of the 12 is free to play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, 7. So the majority is free to play. So you don't need any summonable units. You just need the free to play ones. And then on the final 2 stages, you need the units that are relevant to the event. Get them done, fully awaken them in EZA, and then you are done. More stones and more units. And then we have the finale for the 2 challenge stages, the Black Smoke Shenron and the Spirit Bomb event. New challenge missions. I don't think the stages actually come out here yet. The stages have already been there. So these were already there from the jump, but the missions come in, and the missions I think are what make this more tough for people. So you have to clear, I think the tough one was like within a few turns. Yeah, clear stage 2 within 5 turns. So we'll see how difficult that ends up being for me. I don't really want to see gameplay because I want to experience it for the first time, but in order to give you a little bit of intel on it, I kind of have to do a little bit of research. So I asked around. I didn't want to do any actual, like, you know, observing of any gameplay. But for this one, you're going to have some missions you got to worry about. Terrifying Conquerors for the Kid Buu event. And then for the what is it? Omega or Sin? Omega Shenron, you need Powerful Comeback. 3 of them. So start to assemble some units from those categories. You got to have at least 3 on your team. And look at all, you're getting a bunch of orbs for this. So, all right, that looks good. Looks good. As far as how much, how much of a challenge it is, I can't say for sure. I do know, though, that you can only use the special delegated friend units. You cannot use any other friend unit. You have to use one of these. And I heard through the grapevine that if you don't have the summonable units from the Dokkan Festival banner, it is significantly more difficult. So that's kind of where the, I guess, the paywall conversation sort of came from. But we'll have to wait and see for ourselves just how difficult that is. JP players, feel free to share your own experiences in the comments down below. How tough were these events for you? You know, without divulging too much about the mechanics themselves, were you surprised? Were you thrown off? Was it pretty easy for you? You know, share your thoughts. It'll help out the global players quite a bit. And then the other one, the Shadow Dragons, all of these stages are now out. Stage 6 and 7 will have released. And I believe this is still the difficult stage. This is the one that everybody was freaking out about. So yeah, that is going to be what we're gonna have to look out for. Make sure you guys wait for my video to see how I also react to it. The categories that you have to worry about here are going to be GT Heroes for stage 3, Battle of Fate for stage 6, and then Power of Wishes for stage 7. So yeah, that is going to be releasing during part 3. So we'll see how people react to that. Then we've got Chain Battle. Everybody's favorite event, Chain Battle, will be back. This is going to rely a lot on the part 2 LR, the LR Z Fighter Goku, but it's not the only one. There are going to be other characters that you can use here. As you can see, the triple or the double S category characters, not just the LR 8-year Goku, you've got the 7-year Goku in there, and you got transforming Friezas. You don't necessarily have to have a bunch of summons on the part 2 banner to thrive on this event, both in terms of your score and of course support lines for others. But you're gonna have to have a lot of base Gokus and Kaioken Gokus, and then on the Frieza side, you want all golden Friezas and some first form transforming Friezas. So yeah, even if you don't have like the LR summonable one, all of these other golden Friezas have been around since the dawn of time. So yeah, this looks pretty accessible at face value. We'll have to wait and see when we get into the nitty gritty how it's going to be. I will be doing a video on Chain Battle as I always do, so look forward to that. And that is it. Oh yeah, and then of course, we've got the LR 5-year fusions, their EZAs. This is obviously what I am waiting for the most because I loved these units back when they released during 5-year. This was peak, actually almost peak, but this was like one of the most peak moments for me. So for this EZA, you need to have legendary power. The LR catalyst is very important. Category that helps you resist is going to be Realm of Gods. So if you want to take less damage, bring Realm of Gods LRs. And this is a 10-stage event because this is an LR, so it's going to be a lot more challenging. 3 stones per stage. Same with the Gogeta, only there you resist with Pure Saiyans on your team, but you still need legendary power to do extra damage. 10-stage progression, 3 stones per stage. Then of course you get the extra one for clearing stage 7. So that's more stones and 2 very busted EZAs, which we will discuss on another video, but they are very good. Finally, the 5-year units get their respect. Now there's one more event that is not listed here that I do want to include. Unfortunately, the Dokkan Wiki doesn't have it, but I do have the event here, and that is the 8th anniversary battle. So this is the last battle that takes place during part 3. February 28th, 2023 is in the middle of part 3, right? 222 until the 6th. So yeah, it's like the final week of this 8-year celebration, sort of like the finale. They sort of wrap it up by giving you this this final event that encapsulates the experience of the anniversary by making you fight Goku and Vegeta in different forms throughout the ages. So year 1, I think this was year 1. First anniversary, yeah, first anniversary. So you had Janemba, the only non-Goku Vegeta cameo that appears in this entire roster. That is the first anniversary for level 1. Then level 2 was Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta. Wasn't around for that, but apparently that's what that was. Year 3 was this. I wasn't around, but I heard about this. This is the obviously the fusions, Super Saiyan fusions. Year 4 was my first anniversary, where we had the LR Super Saiyan 4s and so on and so forth. And there's obviously going to be increasingly more difficult conditions. If you want to, if you don't want to have the experience completely ruined, don't look at this roster. Just jump in and try it out for yourself. To put things into perspective, I will say that this is, I believe what I was told was this is on par with Red Zone or perhaps less. But still, this is a nice change of pace because you are doing an end game level content with super enemies. You don't have too many of these on Red Zone. I have been saying for a while now that there is no Red Zone stage with super units. I was wrong. Shout out to you guys for letting me know. I forgot about the Gammas. The Gammas are super units, but besides them, there's no other like really challenging event these days that involves super characters. So this sort of fills that void. And apparently people were pretty satisfied with this. So this is going to be a fun experience that sort of wraps up the 8-year anniversary. And obviously with this, you're going to be earning stones. And what the heck is all this? Clear stage 1. Oh, you're getting, okay, so we're getting skill orbs too. Oh, are they for those particular? Oh, wait, what? Are these the skill orbs for those particular characters? JP players, let us know. What? 8-year anniversary using all 5 types. You're going to get crit 4 additional 4 that applies to these 2. Yo, what? That is pretty cool. Skill orbs obtainable from this event can only be used on main anniversary characters, but those are the units that I've been spending my best skill orbs on. Oh man, now that I know that, if anything, this is a good thing that I've told you, especially new players. You can save some of your nicer skill orbs for other units because these guys are apparently going to get them from these missions. Of course, that is if you can do them. If you can't do this event, then that might be a different story. You might have to equip some skill orbs in order to use these. But I will say, pro tip, use EX skill orbs. Use skill orbs that won't expire. So that way you can equip them onto these characters. And then when you get these, you can switch them on. You can remove the EX skill orbs and you won't lose them. So that's actually a great way to sort of circumvent the problem. For me though, I mean, I have heavily invested in my Goku Vegetas from 6 year, 5 years been heavily invested in. Year 4, all of them are just fully maxed out. So that is going to definitely hurt me a little bit when I do equip these because these are better. but still, oof, that stinks. Anyway, I think that wraps up the 8-year anniversary. So at this point, we'll have earned, you know, all the different units, 8 EZAs, all the different summonable characters you might have pulled throughout your summons, a whole bunch of coins that you can then spend in the Baba Shop for the last time as we drift off into the sunset, awaiting the identity of the 9th anniversary. That's pretty much how this wraps up. So it's going to be fun. There's going to be a lot of content, and trust me, there will be a lot of streams, a lot of videos on the channel. Don't go anywhere. I will take care of you guys when the anniversary begins. But in the meantime, get hyped. There's a lot of stuff coming up, and I cannot wait to share all this with you guys. Plus, there's plenty more coming up in terms of preview series stuff. Anyway, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about this 8-year anniversary on the JP side? What do you think of the experience? Does it look like it's going to be pretty engaging for you? Does it look like it's pretty exciting? I know some people are having mixed feelings about the units themselves, the summonable units, but in terms of the other content, the EZAs, the challenge events, the extra events, the you know, the collectibles and whatnot, does this seem like it's going to be an eventful celebration for you, or do you think that this is going to be a little bit of a step back from previous celebrations? Let me know your overall thoughts in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more dope content in the future, and click the notification bell so that you let YouTube know when to see more of my stuff. Do it! For those of you curious, I will be doing a stone count video soon. Not yet. This was just a campaign review. There will be other videos coming out as well, but there will be a stone count video that happens later on. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned, and always remember to Dokkan responsibly.